So today I wanted to talk about how AI can save you money when buying a new lens. Let's jump in. You can skip past this, I won't be offended. I know some people like B-roll, some people don't, so better keep going. If you're just starting out in photography, then the first thing you're going to need is a body. And once you've chosen the body that you want, whether it's Canon, Sony or Pentax, whatever the make of brand that you want, then you can start picking your lenses. And that is when the fun begins. Come out today with my 24-105 lens, and I'm already regretting not bringing any other lenses with me. Now, I've just on the way up, I've spotted some deer in the deep in the forest, and if I'd had my 100-300, I could have got a shot with that. And now I've just come across this big mound. If you ever come to the woods and you find these big brown mounds, you're pretty much guaranteed it's wood ants, and you can see. So I'm regretting not having a macro lens right now. And there's another one just over here, look. So we've got a couple of shots for macro down here, and then also over here we've got a nice little mushroom, so that made a nice macro shot had I bought my macro lens. I did talk about how, and it's now July, and I did talk about how mushrooms, you can get mushrooms all through the year in a mushroom video I did, so if you're interested in mushroom photography, and I'll pop a link up in the one of the corners. I never know which one's which. So if you're shopping on a budget and you are looking at the different attributes of a lens, how fast is the lens? How wide does that aperture open? What image stabilization does it have? Is it weather sealed? Now, with the advancements of AI, it's made that decision a little bit easier. The reason AI should be influencing your decision on what lens you should buy is AI's ability to denoise an image. So there are many different software programs you can buy and plugins you can get for your current existing software that will denoise an image, whether that's Lightroom or Topaz, whatever the one you choose to use. But the advancements in AI now really does make a difference in your image. So I took my sons to a gun range recently, and I was going to take pictures when I went there, and I thought to myself, what would be the best lens to take pictures at a gun range? And it's an indoor event, because normally I shoot outdoors. I shoot indoor photography, but it's always with a flash or studio lights, and being in a gun range, I didn't think it would be appropriate to whack a flash on my camera and take flash photos as people are firing weapons. So I thought that would probably be a bit of a irresponsible thing to do. So I had to pick a lens that I was going to be comfortable with, that was going to give me good images, and I haven't got a lens that is faster than f4 except for my 70-200, but I wanted something wider than that. So I thought I'd put my faith in AI. I thought I would take my f4 lens, which is my 24-105, and I would take my images on that, and then I would denoise them in Lightroom to see how well the denoise does, how bad the images come out or good the images come out with this light and with this lens and no additional light. And I'll pop the images up on the screen, the before, the denoise and the after denoise. Let me know what you think in the comments of how good it did. I actually think it did quite a good job. And that is why I think AI should influence your decision on what lens you should buy. Now, obviously, I'm not talking if you're a pro photographer, if you're a wedding photographer, say, for example, you're going to want the fastest and best lenses that you can buy. But if you're an amateur like myself and you're restricted on funds and you can't afford to go wasting money on, various lenses to get the best lens that you want, buying one lens might be your only option. And I think if AI does a good job of denoising an image, that extra stop or two stops of light that you would get from a faster image isn't worth the extra probably £800–900 that you might pay for that lens, because a lens like this is a 24-105 and it's only it's an f4, and this, I think, second hand, I can't remember what it's cost me now. I think it's about £600 second hand, but I think the f2.8 version of this is over £1,000. Now, that's quite a big jump if you're never going to use it. If obviously you're going to be doing a lot of indoor photography, denoising all the images that you're going to take might not be worth it, and you might want that faster lens. But for me, most of my images I'm either on a tripod or I'm shooting outdoors and there's plenty of light. And like I said, if I'm indoors, I've got a flash anyway. So you have to decide what type of photographer you are, obviously, to know what type of lens you need. Now, obviously, you have the restrictions of the bokeh in the background. If you choose an f4 lens, you're not going to get as nice a bokeh as you would with an f2.8 or lower or higher. Is it higher? Lower? I don't know, it confuses me. Fractions. So I actually think I went to the worst location in the world for photography, and I actually did a quick Google search, and it does confirm that the location I went to was the worst in the world for photography. So the location had a lot of brambles, a lot of dead trees, bark, a lot of dead branches, a lot of foliage, new growth, all greens and browns all mixed in together, and it just didn't look very nice. It was very cluttered and very just disorganized. I really struggled to find a composition within that forest. So what I decided to do is I decided to go up close to my subjects and eliminate the background and isolate my subject and taking some of that messiness away. I took 4 or 5 images and I'll pop them up on the screen. The last one being the denoised forest image with some editing. So there you go, so go and get yourself an f4 lens and save yourself a few £100 using AI's noise reduction. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the content and I hope you enjoyed the images. If you did like this video, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. Really do appreciate that, and it does help with the algorithm, spreads that out there to other people and helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do consider subscribing, and again, that's massively appreciated. Really do appreciate that myself. Don't think it helps with the algorithm, but it just helps with my ego, which, you know, boosts it up a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, that's awesome. Thank you so much, and I will catch you on the next one.